Hello and welcome to this chair yoga class. Today's class is focused more on the core and the spine, so increasing the flexibility as well. We'll also be doing some full body, just making sure that you do have a solid foundation in the chair that you choose to use, making sure that it's strong enough where it doesn't easily tip over. And today we'll begin by rolling those shoulders up and back, sitting up nice and tall. You can rest your hands in your lap, bringing the feet about hip width distance apart. You can close your eyes if you like. You can bring your hands to your belly, however you're feeling. But we'll start by taking a deep inhale through the nose, feeling the belly rise, breathing through that diaphragm. And take a pause at the top of that breath. And then as you get ready to exhale, go ahead and sigh that out. Feel that constriction in the back of the throat. Again, taking a deep inhale through the nose, feeling the belly rise. Taking a pause at the top of that breath before go ahead and sigh it out. Again, taking a deep inhale through the nose, feeling the belly rise. And exhale, can release that out. Bringing on awareness to the breath. Starting to slow and lengthen through the inhale, through the exhale in your own time and what feels right in your body. Always make this your own personal practice. Take this to whatever level that you feel like you're ready for. Honor your body wherever it is today. And let's start by bringing the hands to heart center. And again, feet are about hip width distance apart. We'll start with some neck exercises here. So just slowly start to inhale, looking over towards one shoulder, taking the gaze slightly upward once you get there. And then as you exhale, start to drop the chin down towards the heart, and then coming on over towards that other shoulder, taking the gaze slightly upward. Taking an inhale. And then again, as you exhale, start to drop the chin towards the heart, half circle back around towards that other shoulder, slight lift in the gaze. Inhale. And again, as you exhale, tuck the chin towards the heart, looking over towards that opposite shoulder, taking the gaze slightly upward. And then release back to center. Take a deep cleansing breath. Inhale, lift it up. And then exhale, press it down. Again, we'll take a deep inhale, lift it up. We'll bring one hand and just bring it over towards the opposite side of that head, and then dropping gently that shoulder, or that ear down towards your shoulder, and then turning this other palm that's extended to face downward, and just start to slowly drop that arm down to a diagonal, bringing the fingertips down to almost point at an angle down towards the floor, increasing that side stretch in the neck here. You can take the gaze slightly upward. You can focus in on the breath, take some deep and slow inhales and exhales. All right, and release that arm. Get ready to go to the other side. So again, taking a deep inhale up, lifting up with the gaze. And then bringing that opposite hand to the other side of that head as you tilt that ear towards that shoulder. Taking the gaze slightly upward, and then turning that extended palm to face downward as you slowly start to lower that hand down towards an angle, pointing down towards the floor, feeling that stretch in the side of the neck. Focusing on the breath. All right, and release on back to center. And bringing the hands to heart center. We'll slowly start to tilt the fingers to be able to clasp the fingers together. And then taking a deep inhale. And as you exhale, start to press the palms out away from you towards that wall in front of you as you round through the back, tuck the chin. And then inhale, bringing the palms to reach up towards the ceiling. Reaching up really tall, taking it slightly back if that feels right. And then as you exhale, release the hands, let them drop just down behind towards the back of the chair. And then again, as you inhale, pressing the fingertips down towards the floor, taking the gaze upward, opening through the chest, shoulders are back. And exhale, bringing the hands back to meet at heart center. Excuse me, I'm going to do that a couple more times. Excuse me. So again, taking a deep inhale here at heart center. And as you exhale, bringing those hands to clasp, pressing the palms away from your body towards that wall in front of you. As you round through the back, tuck the chin, breathing all that air out. And then inhale, reaching the palms to face upward towards the ceiling along with the gaze. Exhale, release the hands, bringing them down towards the back of the chair, bringing the fingertips down towards the floor. As you take another inhale, lifting up through the chest, pressing the hands down, fingertips down, open the heart. And exhale, release back to heart center. Again, taking another deep inhale, sitting up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, bringing the fingers together to clasp, pressing the palms away, rounding through the back, tuck the belly button in, tuck the chin. And inhale, again, taking the palms up towards the ceiling, taking the gaze with it. Take them slightly over if you like. And then releasing the hands as you exhale. And again, inhale, pressing the fingertips down, roll the shoulders up and back, gaze upward, heart lifted. And exhale, release back to heart center. All right, so now we'll just bring the hands to the tops of the thighs here. Again, roll those shoulders up and back. We'll get ready to do some torso circles. We're just really making some big circles here with the ribs. So we'll slowly start to lean forward, open and lifting through the chest, bringing those shoulders down and back. And then as you exhale, start to bring those ribs over towards one side, starting to round through the back, bringing the belly button in towards the spine, tucking the chin, and then start to bring the ribs over towards that other side as you bring back the inhale, taking the gaze forward, the chest lifted. And then bringing those ribs over to the other side and begin the exhale as you take the chin, tuck the chin, round through the back. Again, bringing the ribs over towards the other side, coming back forward on the inhale. And then going back on the exhale, keeping those big, slow rib circles. And once we come back forward here, we'll hold on the inhale. And then start to take that in the opposite direction. So moving the hips over towards the other direction, going back towards the back as you drop the chin and exhaling, taking the ribs over towards the other side. Again, back forward as you come forward, taking an inhale. And exhale again as you take it over and back. Taking the ribs back towards the front, taking an inhale as you lift forward. And exhale as you start to come back. And inhale as you come back forward. Coming back to center. And release. Okay, come up to do a side stretch. So taking a deep inhale, lift it up. And as you exhale, dropping one hand to one side, reaching up and over with that opposite. Keeping the hips square, almost like you have a seat belt on this chair. So the hips are square. And then roll that shoulder open so you're not closed up like this, but you want to be nice and open here. Again, it might just look like this, or it might look like you're coming all the way over. You can let this arm come on down, or keep it in your lap if that feels like it helps for you to keep those hips squared onto the chair. All right, and inhale, lift it on back up. And we'll just get ready to go to the other side. Taking another deep inhale, lift it up, taking the gaze upward. And then we'll just drop that opposite hand, reaching up before going on over for that side bend. Again, if you'd like to bring your hand over to help keep those hips square onto the chair. And then try to roll that top shoulder back. Taking the gaze upward. Taking some deep breaths here. All right, and release that on back down. Let's take another deep inhale, lift it up. taking the gaze upward. And as we exhale, this time we'll open up to twist over to one side. So as you exhale, twisting, you can bring this hand over towards the outside of that opposite knee. And with the other hand, you can reach around towards the back of the chair. And on the inhale, you might can sit up a little bit taller. And on the exhale, you might can twist a little bit deeper. Still keeping the core engaged here. Noticing the muscular energy within your core, in your body, the arms. All right, and release on back to center. We'll get ready to twist over towards the other side. Let's take a deep inhale, lift it up. And as you exhale, just open up to the other side. You can rest this hand on the outside of that opposite knee. And then bringing that other hand around to the back of the chair to hold on. On the inhale, sit up a little taller. And on the exhale, you can twist a little bit deeper. All right, and release on back to center. Let's take another deep inhale, lift it up. And exhale, press it down. We'll get ready to do a sun salutation variation. This is a big variation from the norm, but we're going to get ready in the chair to fold forward. So again, you want to make sure that you're in a nice solid foundation. Don't be too far on the edge where you might tip over. But nice centered here. And you want feet to be about hip width distance apart. So we'll take a deep inhale, lift it up, taking the gaze upward, reaching up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, fold forward, tuck the chin. Bringing the hands to shin. Inhale, straighten the spine into a halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward again, tucking the chin. And as you begin to inhale, we'll start to roll it on up, bringing that right knee in to hug in towards the chest. And hug that right knee in, and it might again just look like this. It might be down here. Keeping the toes grounded into the mat, or if you'd like to start to play with lifting it up a little bit higher, it doesn't have to be all the way to the chest. It might be just a little bit out here, or it might be on in towards the chest. However you are, go ahead and roll those shoulders up and back, lifting up through the chest as we take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, start to fold over that leg. And if it's down here, you can just start to kind of curve through the back, pulling the belly button in towards the spine, rounding through the back. And then release, inhale, lift it all the way back up, reaching up nice and tall. And take the hands slightly back. And we'll go ahead and fold forward. Hands to shin, inhale, halfway lift, straighten the spine. And exhale, fold forward again. And then inhale, we'll slowly come back up. Again, starting to bring that left leg back in up towards the chest. Again, it might just stay right down here, keeping those toes grounded into the floor if you like. Or you might can start to lift it up a little bit higher. Finding what works. Just honor your body wherever it is. You're still coming to the chair today. You're still taking that self-compassion. And you're still getting the work done. Whichever level, wherever you are today, each day may be different. So again, we'll start to hug this knee in at whatever level it is. Roll those shoulders back. Lifting up through the chest as you take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, start to round the back forward. Tuck the belly button in towards the spine, tucking the chin. And release that leg down as we take another inhale, lift it up. And palms come to meet. Exhale, back to heart center. Let's take another deep inhale, lift it up. Feet about hip width distance as we get ready to exhale, fold it forward. Hands to shin, inhale to halfway lift, straight spine. And exhale, fold forward. And inhale, lifting all the way back up. Start to bring that right leg up with you in towards the chest, which may, again, keep it low if that feels better. And I'll keep mine low to show. It's just rolling those shoulders back, opening through the chest. Taking a deep inhale. And as you exhale, start to round through the back, tuck the chin. And again, inhale, lift it all the way back up. And exhale, fold it forward. Hands to shin, inhale to halfway lift, straighten the spine. Then exhale, hands come down, fold forward. And again, as you come up, start to bring that left leg up in towards the chest. It might be all the way in, or again, keeping it down low, however you're feeling today. And we'll take a deep inhale, lifting up through the chest, taking the gaze upward, shoulders are down and back. And then as you exhale, start to roll the shoulders forward, round and through the back, tuck the chin. And again, drop that leg, inhale, lift it all the way back up. And palms come to meet. And exhale, back to heart center. All right, so we'll start to come into a wide leg here. So bringing the feet to an angle, slightly open up with the toes. So just kind of diagonally out from you. Again, making sure you have a nice solid foundation because we will be leaning a little bit forward here if you need to bring the hips on back. But just making sure that the knees are stacked over the ankles. Let's take a deep inhale, lift it up. And as you exhale, start to drop that right elbow just behind the right knee towards that right thigh. And then reaching up and over with that left arm. And we'll do a little flow here. You can always option to hold right here and maintain. You're still getting that muscle work in. And start to engage the muscles here. Otherwise, if you'd like to join in with the flow, you can just start to reach up really tall with that left hand, taking a deep inhale. And as you exhale, reaching that left hand across towards the left side of the room. Scoop it on over towards the right and then point towards the right side. And inhale, lift it all the way back up. And exhale, dropping that hand across, reaching over towards that opposite side. And inhale, lift it all the way back up. And again, exhale, reaching across. And inhale on back up. And then you can slowly, if you like, open up that right hand, come into 12 and 6 with the arms. You can keep the gaze down if this feels better. To increase this a little bit, you can take the gaze upward. All right, again, go ahead and release. Hands back to heart center. We'll just get ready to go to the other side. So again, taking a deep inhale, lift it up. And as you exhale, we'll drop that left elbow, just behind that left knee to the top of that left thigh, reaching up and over with that right arm. And take a deep inhale. Option to hold right here if you'd like to join in with that flow. We'll start to reach that right hand across and bring it on down towards the floor and point over towards that opposite wall. And inhale, lift it on back up, keeping the belly button in towards the spine, keeping the core engaged. And start to bring it across the room to the floor and over towards the other side. And inhale, lift it on back up. And again, start to reach over, down, and across. And inhale, lift it on back up. Option to hold, or if you'd like to open up and extend that left hand, arms come into 12 and 6. Again, you can keep the gaze down if you like, or to increase, take the gaze upward. All right, and go ahead and release back to center. Let's take a deep inhale, lift it up. And exhale, press it down. All right, so just bringing the knees back in, so roughly about hip width distance apart. And again, we'll just slowly start to lift one leg up. This might just, again, look like how it did before with the knees grounded into the floor. And just playing with lifting that knee up a little bit. Otherwise, you can lift it on up. Just take it as far as what feels right in your body. Keeping the belly button in towards the spine, shoulders are down and back. And take a moment to find the breath again. Bringing that awareness to slow and lengthen the breath, the inhale and the exhale. All right, and holding that knee up or grounding through the toes with that opposite hand, taking that same side as that knee and reaching around towards the back of the chair, towards the low back, and pressing through the low back or holding the back of the chair or to roll that right shoulder back or that back shoulder. And come into a little twist here. Again, the toes might be down, or it might be that you've gotten it raised here, and go ahead and rotate, looking towards that bent knee. Again, keeping the core engaged, pulled in. And release that down. We'll just go to the other side. So starting to bring that knee in towards the chest. Again, it might be right here, or you might start to reach it all the way up. We're sitting up nice and tall. And we'll start to twist. So taking that same arm or same hand as that bent or that lifted knee around towards the back of the chair or towards the low back, the seat. And then just slowly using the strength in your arms to start to twist towards that bent knee or towards that lifted knee. Just both of them are bent. All right, and release that on down. So again, we'll take a deep inhale, lift it up. And palms come to meet. Exhale, back to heart center. Now we'll just slowly start to lean forward here. Again, you want to make sure you have that nice solid foundation. So if you need to scoot the hips on back a little bit, we'll be doing a little bit of a forward lean here. So again, feet about hip width distance apart. We'll start to lean forward and just slowly start to turn towards one side. And again, it might just look like you're just starting to bring that elbow in toward between the legs, twisting through the middle back here. If it feels okay, you can go ahead and start to bring that elbow towards the outside of the opposite knee, making sure your knees won't start to fold in or buckle. If it feels like they want to, you can go ahead and bring the feet together, bringing the knees together if that feels better. And then actively engaging through the palms, pressing into the palms to increase this twist a little bit. And again, it might be just that it's in the center, and that's okay. But keeping the belly button pulled in towards the spine, you're still getting that core work here. And inhale, lift it all the way back up. Keeping the palms together. As you exhale, we'll just start to lean forward, taking that towards the other side. So again, it might be just in between those knees here, and starting to look over towards that opposite side. You can still engage through the palms here, pressing into that the same inner thigh, or if it feels okay, you can go ahead and come out to that outer edge of that opposite knee for a twist. Again, actively engaging through the palms, stacking through the shoulders, keeping that belly button pulled in, core engaged. All right, and bringing it back to center, reaching all the way back up, and turn the palms to press it down. All right, so now we're going to bring the hips a little bit out towards the outside of the chair, but still making sure that it's not any threat of tipping over. We're sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to reach the hands back towards the back of the chair and slowly start to lean back. Keeping, again, especially here, the belly button pulled in towards the spine. You can do it either like this, or if it's better, to turn towards the side and reaching towards the back and start to bring the feet out. Again, rolling those shoulders up and back. You want the chest to be lifted here, belly button pulled in, and just a slow march. Start to reach that right knee in towards the chest and drop it back down. We'll just do a slow march here, so left knee in towards the chest. Again, as big, small marches is what you need today. Go to the opposite knee in towards the chest. Release back down, keeping that core engaged. Opposite knee in. And lower back down. Again, opposite knee in, keeping that core engaged. Lower arm back down, chest is lifted. Being careful not to round through the back. Opposite knee in. Lower back down. Again, bring that knee in. Lower back down. And one more time, knee in. And lower back down. And now we're just going to start to bring both knees in. Again, if it helps to turn towards the side, you can grab the back of the seat, or you can take one hand to the back of the chair or across, however you feel more secure. So just starting to lean back again slightly, keeping the chest lifted, the belly button pulled in. You can one knee at a time, or start to lift both knees up. And this can be a challenging position. But just try not to tense up through the neck. Relax the facial muscles, keeping the chest lifted. Those muscles are working if you're feeling this shaking. Slowly begin to focus on the breath. Lengthen in through the inhale. Slow through the exhale. All right, and go ahead and release that down. We'll come back to center. Let's take a deep inhale, lift it up. Feet about hip width distance, knees over the ankles. And we'll just fold it forward. Hands to shin, roll the shoulders back, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. And inhale, coming all the way back up. We'll get ready just to take one foot out towards the front. So extended one leg, keeping the opposite leg bent, knee stacked over that ankle. You can put a flex in that extended leg, so bringing the toes in towards the body as you press the heel away. And sitting up nice and tall here, you can slowly start to lean forward. You might want to stack your hands over the top of that bent knee, on top of that upper thigh there, not pressing on the knee joint. And slowly starting to lean forward. Again, it might just be a small lean. You can stay like this, or you might want to lean a little bit farther down. You can even reach towards this opposite or the extended leg. You might keep that on the upper thigh, reaching towards that calf, or towards the toes, however you're feeling today. All right, and bring it on back up. And we'll just slowly start to that extended leg. Just start to turn that foot to open up through this hip a little bit. So bring in that ankle to stack on top of that other ankle. So this knee, the knee that didn't move just then, that's been bent, that knee stays stacked over that ankle. And then you can press into that inner thigh a little bit to open up a little bit more as you start to fold forward. If you want to get a little bit deeper here, you can always start to bring this leg up onto that upper thigh, just crossing that ankle onto the upper thigh, but keeping this foot flexed. And again, you can slowly start to lift all the way up straight, and then slowly start to lean forward, bringing everything in towards the chest. Again, if it feels better to keep that leg down here, you're still getting that work. You can still press into that inner thigh to help open it up a little bit more. It's all about taking small steps to work up to bigger steps wherever you are. All right, inhale, lift it on back up. And then we'll just switch feet. So stacking that opposite knee over that ankle, extending that other leg out, keeping that foot flexed so the toes are pulling in towards the body, the heel away, and sitting up nice and tall. We'll slowly start to lean forward. You might keep the hand stacked on this, on the bent leg on top of that thigh if you like, or you can start to reach your hand towards that other thigh, shin, or you can start to fold even towards that ankle or toes. But keeping that extended leg, that foot flexed, and taking it to whatever level you feel is right for your body today. go ahead and lift it on back up. Just going to open that hip up. So again, just starting to leaving this leg, that knee staying over that ankle, and then start to cross that extended leg, that ankle on top of the bent. And then you can gently press into that inner thigh to open up the hips a little bit more here. You can keep it right here, and we'll start to fold it forward. You can gently press it into the upper thighs, to that inner thigh on that open hip, and lean as forward as what feels comfortable. You can keep it right here, or if you'd rather and it feels okay for that same move, you can go ahead and stack that extended leg over just behind that knee on the top of that thigh, and then start to hug everything in towards the chest as you lean forward, opening up through the hip, breathing in through the hip here, and trying to release any tension. Alright, and lift it on back up and release back down. We'll get ready to come up and do a couple of standing poses, if that feels alright. We'll go ahead and stand up. You can turn your chair so that the tall part, the back, is facing you and the seat is facing out in front. Alright, so coming up to the back of the chair, we'll get ready to do this standing flow. So again, we'll put the hands onto the back of the chair, but still being mindful to keep the body weight kind of divided between the feet, rather than pushing into the back of the chair to depend on it. You just really want it here for support, but to not support all of your body weight. So just start to step back. Taking a step back, you want your hips to be stacked over the ankles still, and then leaning forward enough, stepping back enough that that back comes to straight to flat. Really pressing those hips back and up as the chest comes down. Broad shoulders here, flat back. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. You can start to lift and lower each heel. Treading it out here. And then start to walk the big toes to meet in center. And we'll take that right leg back. Take it back just behind you. And then swing it forward, big step forward, coming into a high lunge position. So you want that left knee, or that right knee staying stacked over that right ankle. You got that left heel lifted, pressing into those left toes. If you need to step in a little bit, you can step in a little bit. Or if you need to widen your stance, you can widen your stance. Just so long as you can find that good solid foundation. You want both sides of the hips for this facing towards the front. So square towards the front, being mindful that that knee stays stacked over that ankle, and bringing both hands towards the back of the chair, keeping the belly button pulled in towards the spine. We'll do a little twist flow here. And we'll take a deep inhale, reaching that arm up, and exhale as you take it back behind you, taking the gaze with it. And reaching on back forward. Again, taking an inhale, reaching up, taking it back. And release back forward. And again, reaching that arm up, twisting through the middle of the back, taking the gaze back. And we'll hold this for just a couple of breaths. And release, bring that right hand back to the back of the chair. And then you slowly start to lift that left arm up and reach it up and over, turning the back toes to an angle. So we're coming into a warrior two position here. So now the hips are open to the side, making sure again that right knee stays stacked over the left. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. You can play with lifting that hand or keep that right hand down, however you like. And then we'll just slowly start to push through that right foot to straighten that right leg. We'll get ready to come into triangle pose or a variation of. So before we do, we'll start to bring that left hand and bring the top of that left hand, the back of it, just to the middle of the low back here. And then we'll just start to lean towards that right leg, towards the chair. And you can keep that right arm on the back of the chair here. Really roll that shoulder back. If this feels like a lot on the hand, you can always bring the fist to the low back. If it feels like a lot on the wrist, you can press in with the palm. Just rolling that shoulder nice and open. If you feel good enough here too, you can start to lower on down, taking that hand down towards the shin, towards your ankle, however you're feeling. Again, if not, you can just keep your hand on that chair. If you'd like, you can open up that left arm, taking that right arm down, just finding whatever level feels right in your body for today. All right, coming on back up. And we'll just swing that leg back forward. And then we'll start to, again, come back into down dog position. Really taking those hips back and up. Lengthening through the spine here. Pushing the hips away from the hands. Long, straight spine. And walk those toes to meet in center. And then swinging that left leg back. To take it on forward, coming into that high lunge position. And then again, keeping that left knee staying stacked over that left ankle. And sitting up nice and tall here. Option just to hold right here. If you like, you can do this like this little twist flow. So keeping the right hand onto the chair. We'll reach out with that left arm and then taking it up. Let the gaze follow your hand back behind you for a twist. And then reach up and back forward. Again, reaching that hand up, taking it behind you, taking the gaze with it. Keeping the belly button pulled in, core engaged, and taking that left hand back in front. And again, reaching up, taking it back. And we'll hold this for just a couple of breaths. All right, and go ahead and bring that hand back to the chair. You're going to rest that left hand to the chair, taking that right hand up and back, and as it goes back behind you, let those right toes come into a slight angle. You can step back a little bit if you need to, or step in, but keeping that left knee staying stacked over that right. Drop those shoulders down and away from the ears. You can play with lifting both arms up if you like. Core strong and engaged here. All right, now we're just going to start to press that left leg straight. And you can start to reach around, bringing the top of that right hand just to behind to the low back. We'll slowly start to lean forward, coming into triangle position. The heels are roughly aligned. You can stay right here. Or if you'd like to, you can start to reach down. If you feel very secure in your foundation, you can start to reach down towards the calf, towards the ankle, towards the ground, however you're feeling. Just rolling and opening that shoulder back. Option to open that right arm up, reaching that right arm towards the ceiling. Again, if you need to hold on to the chair with that left arm, just take it to whatever level you feel today. All right, and reach that on back up, and we'll just step back forward, walk it out a little bit. All right, again, we'll just walk back into that down dog variation. So taking as many steps back that you can keep those hips stacked over your ankles. Soft bend in the knees here. Really start to lower the chest down. You take the hips back, up. Again, start to lift and lower each heel, treading. And then we'll just start to step that right foot about halfway back to the chair. And then standing up nice and tall, keeping that left foot back. Getting ready for warrior 3 here. So soft bend in that right leg. And keeping both hands down here. You can just slowly start to lean. If you want to just come this far, then you're still getting some work done here. Otherwise, if you'd like to start to reach that left leg straight on back, soft bend in that right knee, keeping the hips square towards the ground. You can hold right here, or if you'd like to reach out with that opposite hand, with that right hand, pulling that right hand away from that left foot. All right, and lower that on back down. Now you can stay right here. We'll do a little bit, some crunches standing here. And I'll give you a couple of different options to do that. So you can just stay right here and just start to mess with bringing in that knee a little bit, kind of rounding through the back, keeping the belly button tucked in as we exhale, and on the inhale, coming back up. So exhale, do a little crunch here, inhale, come back up. So that's step one. If you want to add a little bit more, take it a little bit deeper. So again, soft bend in that right knee. You can start to bring that knee in towards the chest. So as we inhale, we'll lift up through the chest. And as you exhale, start to tuck the chin, bringing that knee in, keeping the belly button in towards the spine. And inhale, coming on back up. So that's kind of a level 2 there for that crunch. If you'd like to add a little bit more to it, and only when you feel very secure as to not tip over, and start to reach that right hand up opposite that left leg that's extended back behind us. So again, we'll start to inhale as we reach, and exhale, bringing that elbow in towards that knee, tuck the chin, and inhale, lift back up. So those are the 3 different options here. So we'll get started. We'll do about 3 on each side. So we'll take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, bringing that knee in, or just rounding through the back here, bringing the belly button in, and inhale, open back up, lifting through the chest, exhale, closing it, keeping the belly button in, and inhale, and again exhale as you close, and inhale to open back up, and release that on back down. We'll bring that foot in, and just step the opposite foot a good step back. So reaching that right foot back, and again we'll just take some time here, keeping that soft bend in that left knee. Now again, to show you the different levels, for the first one you can just inhale, we'll lift up through the chest, and exhale, start to round through the back, tuck the belly button in towards the spine, tuck the chin, and inhale, lift back up. So that's that one variation that you can do there. Or if you'd like, inhale, keeping it open. As you close, you can start to bring that knee in and back open. Or that third, if you'd like to increase a little bit more, reaching that opposite hand, that left hand straight out. So we'll take an inhale, reaching up, and exhale, bringing the elbow in towards the knee. And again, inhale, reach up, and exhale, close. And inhale, open, and exhale, close, and stretch it on back out, and release down. All right, let's take a deep inhale, lift it up, and exhale, press it down. So we'll get ready to come back down to the chair. So sitting back on. All right, so you're coming back into seated position and stacking those knees over the ankles. Feet are about hip width distance apart. Let's inhale, lifting the arms up and bringing the palms to meet. Clasp the fingers together and bring them just behind the head to rest the head into the palms. So we're going to do a little bit more core work here. We're just going to start to bring an elbow towards that knee and back up, and it might just look like that, like just a little bit smaller of a movement. Find out what feels right. But as we do these movements, making sure to keep that belly button pulled in towards the spine, keeping the core engaged. And if you'd like to take it a little step farther, you can start to bring that elbow towards that knee and come back up. So whatever feels right in your body today. So we'll do about 5 on each side for this one. So sitting up nice and tall. Let's start to bring that elbow down towards that knee And reach it on back up. Cores engaged. Left elbow towards that right knee. And on back up. Now if you'd like to start to lift the knee up, again taking it to whatever level that you'd like. Bring the opposite elbow. And back up for 2. And reach the elbow down. And back up. And reach down. Back up for 3. And elbow towards knee. 4. And 4. And one more time. 5. And elbow towards knee for 5. And release the hands. Let's inhale, lift it up. Palms come to meet. And exhale back to heart center. So again, we'll inhale, reaching both arms up, keeping the palms together. And we'll take the palms just slightly behind, slight arch in the back. And as you exhale, bringing the hands back to heart center, tuck the chin. We'll do that a couple more times. I'll do that from the side. You can see a little bit better. Again, hands are at heart center. We'll just start to reach up with both arms, taking an inhale, taking your gaze with it, and arms pressed slightly behind the head, arching in the back. And as you exhale, hands come back down towards the heart. Tuck the chin. And again, taking an inhale, reaching the arms up, taking them back behind the head, slight arch in the back. And as you exhale, hands come back to heart center, tuck the chin. And one more time, taking a deep inhale, reaching both arms up, taking the hands slightly back, slight arch in the back, back bend here. And as you exhale again, hands come back down. And go ahead and release that down. So just a little bit more. We're almost done. So opening up the legs again to a wide stance here. Feet are at an angle, so toes are open out to the side. Just about a 45-degree angle, just a straight diagonal out. We're taking a deep inhale, lift it up. And as you exhale, press it down. All right, and we'll reach one hand over towards that opposite thigh. And then taking that other hand, reach up and leaning on over for side stretch. And inhale, reach it on back up. And then we'll just move this hand over towards that other thigh. Bringing this other hand, reaching it up. Really reach and stretch up tall before coming on over for side bends. And reach it on back up. And go ahead and release. We'll bring the feet back in. Let's take a deep inhale, lift it up. And exhale, press it down. And inhale, lift it on back up. As we exhale, we'll start to twist open to one side. And inhale, lift it on back up to center. And twist open towards the other side. And inhale, lift it on back up. And exhale, bring the hands down towards the back of the chair. And then pressing the fingertips, we'll roll the shoulders up first. And then as they come back, really pressing the fingertips down towards the floor. As you take your gaze upward, chest upward. It's like back bend here. And exhale, release back to center. Again, making sure that you are nice and stable here. We'll take one more forward fold. So knees stacked over the ankles. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, fold it forward. You can hug behind the knees here, round through the back, tuck the chin. All right, and coming all the way back up. Take a couple of more deep cleansing breaths. Inhale, lift it up, take your gaze with it. And turn the palms, exhale, press it down. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, press it down. We'll take one more breath, deepest so far of the day. Inhale, lift it up. Palms come to meet. And exhale, back to heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a blessed day, and thank you so much for taking the time for this self-compassion. Namaste.